Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today we're talking about carrots and how to select and store the best carrots that you can find. Carrots are available fresh in just about any grocery store out there, and you can find them in all kinds of ways. In whole carrots, in plastic bags, you can find them sliced and shredded and ground down into baby carrots. Yes, those are not specially grown carrots. Those are regular carrots that are ground down into little finger food carrots. What I'm referring to here mostly would be just the fresh whole carrots, whether they're in a bag or whether they are separate with the greens attached. You want to choose carrots that are firm and smooth and brightly colored, relatively straight, and you want to avoid those that are excessively cracked. Yeah, there might be some that have some cracks in there. That's bound to happen from time to time. But if it's excessively cracked, you might want to choose something else. Choose ones that are not limp or rubbery as well, because they're old. If the greens are still attached to them, look for the color of the greens. You want them to be brightly colored, and you want them to be firm and not all limp. The darker color indicates an older carrot. So you want feathery, nice, brightly crisp type feather tops on them when you buy them. An interesting note here is that the sugars are concentrated in the core of the carrots. So if you want a really sweet carrot, opt for larger ones. They should be a little sweeter than the smaller ones, thinner ones. Now you want to store carrots in the refrigerator for sure, preferably in the coolest part of the refrigerator. You want to minimize their moisture loss. Yes, you can store them in the refrigerator in the original plastic bag, or you can put them in the crisper drawer wrapped in paper towels to help reduce their condensation. I have another way to store carrots as well, and I'll show you that in a little bit, and I'll show a comparison of different ways that I like to store them so that you can compare for yourself. If your carrots came with the green tops still attached, you want to remove those green tops before you store your carrots, because if you leave them on there, they're going to tend to pull some moisture from the carrot root itself, and it'll cause them to wilt a little earlier than you might want them to. So if you want to store the carrot greens, you want to cut them off and wrap them in a slightly damp paper towel or cloth, and then put them loosely in a plastic bag in the refrigerator. You want to use them quickly because they're not going to last very long. If you don't want to eat them, they are edible. They will bother some people though. If you don't want to eat them, throw them out in your backyard. There's bound to be a rabbit out there that would really appreciate it. You also want to store your carrots away from ethylene producing fruits and vegetables like apples, pears, and even potatoes. That ethylene gas can cause the carrots to turn bitter in their flavor, so you don't want that. And they should keep well for a couple weeks or even more in the refrigerator. And when you go to use them, you don't want to use any that look bad, smell bad, slimy in any way, or if the very tip of them is turning black or dark, you certainly don't want to eat that. You want to cut that off and throw that away, and then the rest of the carrots should still be okay. Now I'm going to move the camera, and I'm going to show you a couple of different things that I want to show you about storing carrots. Now, yes, you can store your carrots in the original plastic bag, and I've kept these in the refrigerator for a while for the purpose of showing this to you. When you store them for any length of time within that plastic bag, they're going to release some of their moisture, and it's going to accumulate on the inside of the plastic bag. Hopefully you can see that here, that there is moisture. That moisture is good for the carrots, but at the same time it can invite them to spoil a little bit easier. So when you store them like this, if you notice they start getting slimy or mushy in any way, or if the tip of the carrot starts turning dark, you know that you've got to get those out of that plastic bag and either throw them away or use them right away if there's still some good parts to them. What I like to do is take my carrots out of the plastic bag and put them in a container of their own with a clean dry cloth. This is a cotton, it's actually some diaper fabric that's down here. You could use paper towels and put them in a container of their own. And you can see that this has been here for a good while. That some moisture does accumulate within the container. However, the cloth is going to help to absorb that extra moisture and help to maintain a humid environment, which is very good for the carrots, but not a wet environment. And these have been here for a good while. These have not been peeled, and I reach out of this container every day when I'm making a salad and give them yet another rinse. They have been rinsed, but I rinse them again when I go to use them. And they'll last a long time like this. They'll last longer like this than they will just left in the original bag, because I'm allowing for some airflow and I'm allowing something in there to absorb the extra moisture while it still keeps that moisture in the container. So I wanted to share this with you because it's the best way I have found to store carrots over the years. Well, I do hope this helps you out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Bye for now.